Not the street saying that Todd got a new scheme, and this one is called full custody, because he said if Kandi ain't giving me a settlement, then baby, she can just pay that child support. Y'all, let's get into this, because the streets are talking about Kandi and Todd and the way that the divorce could be getting ugly. Now, in my last video, if you didn't see it, we talked about how industry insiders said that Kandi could have legally protected all her assets and made sure that even when they divorced, Todd didn't walk away with a big payout, because a lot of the production expenses could get shifted to debt. It's called creative accounting. It's perfectly legal. Now, I talked to a few insiders, and they were like, the truth is more like all of Todd's productions and all of Todd's ideas, they were good ideas, but they never really made money. But Kandi, being the loyal wife, was willing to finance it. Now get this, we all know that Todd, there is a ironclad prenup, or so we. Anyway, they said that in the divorce documents that Kandi submitted, we're still trying to get our hands on the divorce documents, not to be nosy, but just to do the Lord's work. Todd was already contesting the prenup, so he was going for stuff, okay? Now, the funny thing is, people also saw on social media Todd trying to go in on Kandi, and to me it seemed like he was trying to neg her. That's when men try to like hit your self-esteem, but trying to make it seem like, what, I'm just, remember when he said, Rihanna, right? Anyway, he tried to do that on live stream, and this is before Kandi actually filed for divorce. If you guys didn't see it, let me show it to you really quick, and then we're gonna get into this, okay?
Just listen. As a woman with money, you should let your man control it. You didn't do it all by yourself. So what if we broke up? I would get nothing? Like I didn't help you? I brought you water sometimes, I listened? Hypothetically, of course. What if I slept with one of your friends after we broke up? What if I slept with one of your friends after you hear me? What if I slept with one of your, Portia, put my ego in a box. I've been suppressing it. It's not about that. It's not about that. See, some women think because they have more money going into the relationship that everything is mine. What if I need a couple of dollars? See, I'm not saying buy me no cars, a Lambo or no shit. That'll be dumb unless you... Yeah, no, that'll be dumb. See, I just need a monthly allowance. You don't listen. If you have too much money, you could end up by yourself if you don't let your man control the money that you had before y'all got together. I'm just saying. Be a man, you must be swift as a forcing. It's not about that. My ex catered to me like I was a billionaire, even though I only had $10. She cooked, she cleaned, she slaved, So let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think y'all passed your prime? Kandi? You ain't no Rihanna. You're not listening. We need separation. I'm tired of being around you and your friends. That's why I got this camera set up while you get your makeup and hair done and make money for us so I could take it.
I just had to show it to you. That was a dramatic reenactment of the way Todd was acting on live stream with Kandi, and I do believe she divorced him a few months later. Now, funny thing is, on the divorce documents, Kandi has the date of separation as July 2015. People have said that Todd has been all over Atlanta dating. The thing is, I'm waiting for somebody to get some video. I'm waiting for somebody to get some pictures, because they said he's been dating, but my whole point was, yeah, but back then people are probably like, nah, he wouldn't. This is probably business. I don't know. And now everybody definitely does know. I want to see what made Kandi finally file for divorce, because we all know that Kandi is a ride or die. But one thing nobody can ever accuse Kandi of being is stupid. So Todd, in my opinion, probably crossed the line somewhere. Anyway, listen. So Media Takeout is talking about that Thanksgiving dinner. Now, I know what y'all saying. T says Media Takeout. But yo, sometimes Media Takeout do be knowing. Sometimes they be knowing a lot of stuff. They've broken a lot of stories in the last few years. Anyway, listen to this. Remember on Thanksgiving where they had that family picture? And I was like, what happened Thanksgiving? And everybody was like, it was cordial. Kandi even said, I said, I know. But the one thing everybody's missing is the details. All of Todd's 3 children are there. Kayla was there, Todd's oldest. Blaze was there, and the baby was there. Okay, that's 3 kids, 1 mommy. Where was Todd? Why would you leave Thanksgiving dinner early? Like, are the strip clubs open for Thanksgiving? Where were you going when your whole family is there for Thanksgiving? And some people being like, oh, Mama Joyce was probably there. Okay, but Kayla was there. The kids were there. If they could be around Mama Joyce, why would you leave your kids alone with Mama Joyce if you ain't get along with that woman to the point of you had to leave? You can't blame Mama Joyce for this. And I know one thing. Mama Joyce was a prophet. We might not have liked the way she said it, but baby, she called it. Anyway, listen to this, because there's a lot of juice in here, and it's from insiders. They said Kandi Burruss and Todd spent Thanksgiving together, but behind the smiles, the divorce drama is starting to show. They said Kandi and Todd did spend Thanksgiving together in Atlanta. Media Takeout confirmed. On the surface, it looked like a calm and mature family moment, but insiders say the truth behind closed doors is far more complicated. Despite the holiday reunion, sources close to the situation insist that the split between Kandi and Todd is not as peaceful as it would appear. Well, no kidding. I don't care how much people try to act like this is the conscious uncoupling. One person's leaving, the other person's mad, and it's going to start showing. We're told that Kandi felt pressured to be in Atlanta for the holiday because, listen to this, she did not want any drama over seeing her children on such an important day. According to one insider, Kandi worried that skipping the family Thanksgiving could have led to unnecessary conflict. Now, listen to why. They said, now to be clear, Media Takeout says that they did not have direct confirmation that the divorce will turn ugly, but there are several signs that have people close to Kandi raising eyebrows. They said the social media strategy that the scheme that Todd is setting up is very telling. Todd has been heavily highlighted his role as a devoted father on social media. Nearly every recent post shows him centered around the children, family activities, and hands-on parenting. Folks close to Kandi believe this is not accidental. They suspect Todd may be positioning himself to seek primary custody. If Todd were to secure primary custody, that could open the door for child support, regardless of what's written in their prenuptial agreement. And that possibility has Kandi's inner circle eyeing the situation hard. Also, the photos that weren't posted speak volumes. They said another detail fans noticed immediately. While Kandi shared sweet-looking Thanksgiving photos of the family vibe, Todd was absent from her post. On the flip side, Todd has not featured Kandi on his page in weeks. Instead, his timeline is filled with photos of his children, further fueling speculation that the two are quietly preparing for a more complicated battle ahead. And they did confirm that, okay, fine, the family did come together for the sake of the kids, but sources insist this was more about obligation than harmony. There's no indication at all that reconciliation is on the table. If anything, the tension feels carefully managed rather than resolved. Now, here's the thing. I did talk to a few people that seem to know the Kandi and Todd situation, and I was like, do you think this is like a Ralph and Drew like reconciliation, you know? And they were like, nah, that's not who Kandi is. When Kandi decides to move on, she is moving on to better days, right? Let's be real. Kandi was always a draw. She was a star. She was a powerhouse. Todd will not be broke. He can go back to production. He can go back to doing what he was doing. The problem is Todd doesn't want to leave empty-handed. And remember what happened with that prenup. Now, again, you guys did correct me when I thought Kandi sprung the prenup on Todd on the last minute, and apparently she didn't. Apparently Todd had it for weeks and thought that if he just held off on signing it, Kandi would marry him without the signed prenup. But one thing about Kandi, baby, she may be a sucker for love, but that's all. She did not do it, and Todd had to cave in. So they're saying that Todd cannot contest that prenup. However, if he goes for primary custody, because he says that Kandi is always working and she's always flying around and he's the parent that can be with the kids all the time. The funny thing is, one thing about Kandi, she loves her money, but more than that, she loves her children. I do believe that Kandi would probably give him a bigger payout if she could retain 50-50 custody. I think she would throw every penny she has at a legal battle if that meant to stop Todd from taking full custody of the kids. Like, Kandi is a good mom. She loves her children, right? People said this is another scheme by Todd to get some of that money because he does not want to leave empty-handed. Now, funny thing is, getting back into why they're divorcing, the only thing people that can come up is, even though Todd and Kandi have a very understanding and welcoming marriage, Todd may have wanted more. It wasn't the point of whether he could. It's the point that he wanted to do something that Kandi couldn't control. Right? Let me just say it. I heard that basically, even though they might have fun and bring people into the fun, Todd overstepped bounds and stepped out without Kandi. Again, a marriage is whatever you agree to, but once you break that. But I will say that if nobody knows this is true, but this is like what men traditionally do when they want to humble the more successful woman they are with. They humble it through breaking her down, putting her in tears, keeping her stressed out, making her think this, making her say that. Again, all jokes aside, you guys saw that TikTok where that girl was imitating Todd, but that was the way Todd seemed to be in the last year. Regardless, Kandi, sources are saying, is willing to keep things cute and keep people out of her business, but not at the expense of being played, taken advantage, or emotionally extorted by anyone. So basically the ball's in Todd's court. And if Todd wants to keep things cute, he can. But they are saying that if Todd chooses to go low, Kandi is willing and will always take it to hell. So yeah, we gonna see. Anyway, y'all, that is the update. Again, it is funny the way Todd is trying to frame himself as this perfect family man. And I'm not saying he's not, but he is going on something on social media in the last couple of months. And they've been separated officially since July of 2025. So yeah, it looks like it's another scheme. Let's see what happens. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.